Come on and slang and get into the Space Jam. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Ooh, and we back. And we back. I can explain what the hypeness is all about. I think everyone knows within this last week, unless you've been under a rock or just got hit by a rock or currently returning back from space, which what Jeff Bezos was just doing, you already know that Space Jam 1 is back in session. Considering that we have already covered Space Jam 2 as well. Check out the review for that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the LuckyDog podcast. This is your host, Elias Roush. This podcast is sponsored by EliasRoushMedia.com. Photo, video, digital media production. So today we have Space Jam. Come on and jam and get into the... So, anyways, Space Jam. Why are we talking about Space Jam? Like I said, the second one was released last week on HBO Max in the US, and it's been released in theaters as well, depending on your situation with COVID and if you're able to go to the theaters. Some people went and saw it in theaters, some people saw it on HBO Max. I watched on HBO Max, wanted to kind of revitalize myself, so I went back and watched Space Jam. So I watched Space Jam 2 first, and then I watched Space Jam 1. I had not seen Space Jam 1 in absolutely at least 10, 15 years. From my recollection, when I was teenage me, I wasn't like that keen on tons of sports movies. I wasn't keen on tons of Looney Tunes, especially. So put them together, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm about this. But coming back as more of a critic and having a more of a critical eye on things, I wanted to see what the difference was between Space Jam 2 and Space Jam 1. So without going into too many details or spoilers of the second movie, Space Jam 2 is almost a complete reduct of the first Space Jam, but in some lesser degrees, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and say it up front that I think the first one is slightly more superior for a couple of reasons, but it could just come down to personal preference. I personally think the concept feels slightly more original, although you know that they're trying to kind of tail off of like a Roger Rabbit kind of thing, Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie. And once again, that is an adult movie with cartoons in it, debatably. So you can't, those are seriously kind of apples and oranges. Space Jam 1 is very much a family-oriented film, and for the majority of it, give or take a couple of the jokes that don't exactly have the lasting power. But anyways, I do feel Space Jam 1 is slightly more superior because... one, the concept does feel a little bit more original. I'm gonna say the comedy, the supporting cast. I even think Michael Jordan is actually a little bit better of an actor on screen. I'm gonna give credit to Martin Thomas. Martin Thomas on Double Toasted said Michael Jordan can act better in front of people, and LeBron James can act better in front of tunes. And so going along with saying that, I think that yes, there are like animation problems when it comes down to, is Michael Jordan making eye contact and eyesight with the tunes that are on screen? He's just like, what's going on? He's kind of a little bit out of it, and it's mostly because he probably wasn't acting against probably a real person. He might have been acting against like a tennis ball or something like that, whatever they do behind the screens. But anyways, I kind of wanted to dissect what the difference was between the two movies. Very much from the story, they feel the same. Very much from the technical side of them getting Michael Jordan to play ball is not nearly as natural as Space Jam 2. I won't go into too many details, like I said, what happens in Space Jam 2, but the reasoning of why they get to play basketball does favor Space Jam 2. But ultimately, before we go into a really in-depth degree of review for this, Space Jam 1 feels like it has a more cohesive campiness or feel about it, and it both allows the entire family to kind of access it, both from the comedy, both from understanding the jokes, understanding the characters. Even quick throwaway jokes are only like 5 seconds at max. I feel like they don't overstay their welcome. Along saying that the pacing in Space Jam 1 is superior. I think Space Jam 2, I keep saying Space Jam 2, it's Space Jam A New Legacy with LeBron James, is approximately hour 15 minutes, and as opposed to the 88-minute runtime on Space Jam 1, which is a no-brainer. I mean, what is that? It's barely an hour 20 minutes ish with credits and all of that for Space Jam. So yeah, Space Jam 2 does feel like it has a much longer pacing that is entitled, that goes along with it. The main difference I'm seeing is Space Jam 1. Space Jam 1 is all about selling like corporate branding and their own IP, and Space Jam 2 feels much more in the realm of sell all their IP. It's all about the Warner Brothers IP. It's all about bring all the characters. We need everyone. Gary Oldman style. Yeah, they have. Warner Brothers has an immense catalog of characters, and Space Jam 2 is all about just shoving every single one of them in there to remind you that you got to get some HBO Max on your plate. I'm not here to say you don't need HBO Max, or you do need HBO Max, but what I'm saying is it feels so much like they're curtailing everything in Space Jam 2 to just say, these are all of our characters. We're going to put them in the movie whether they are relevant or not. And I definitely feel like Space Jam 1, even though they, in both ways, they kind of quote-unquote sell out to an extent, it's not like Space Jam 1. Space Jam 1 has like an entire line where Wayne Knight is like, he gives like 5 or 6 different he's like, do you want to go to you want to put your Nikes on and go to Burger King and grab a Whopper, and then on the way do something. He says like 5 or 6 different corporations on the way. Oh, do you want to eat your Wheaties on the way to while wearing your Nikes to go get a Burger King or something like that? And it feels like so much more self-aware about being shameless ripping off the corporate, not even shameless ripping off corporations, but it's just like, it feels just like, yes, there's going to be corporations that want their name in front of all of this. Yes, there wants to be Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these brands want to be in front of Michael Jordan. I think it was Coca-Cola in this one. But anyways, it's just like, it felt like, yes, it was shameless. It was shameless branding for the corporations, but I kind of liked the shameless branding to the corporations. Everybody knew that it's this big ramp up of having, live action plus sports plus the Warner Brothers IP. It's a very exciting thing. The thing I do like about the first one, again, right before we finish this, is kind of how they make fun of Jordan. So finishing off the corporation stuff, yes, it's quick throwaway stuff that didn't necessarily bother me. Yes, they would linger a little bit on McDonald's fries beside a television a little bit extra long. Big whoop for me. That didn't really bother me as much. Shameless corporate branding or short corporate advertising. And then we have, I think when someone falls through a hole in Looney Tunes world, they make a Nike check sign, and it's just like stuff like that. It's just like, okay, I understand. That's as a kid, I don't think any of that is going to stick in their minds at all until they're older. So from a standpoint of, if it's a kids movie, yeah, keep on. I understand you got to make your money somehow. So yeah, my biggest problem between the two movies was the second one didn't feel like it was as natural when it came to showing all of the different IPs and kind of blending them together. Some of it felt just like, we got to do it now. This is how we got to do it. We only have time to. We have 200 characters and we only have this many minutes, so we got to shove them all in no matter what. So let's talk about Space Jam. Let me get a little bit of coffee. So I hope that was kind of a better breakdown. I also think that the way that they're able to kind of introvertly look into Michael Jordan and LeBron James's careers as famous basketball stars, I do like how they are kind of riding the coattails of these NBA stars. The movies wouldn't work with them. You can't just like replace them with someone else, or unless they're like an NBA star to that degree. I especially liked Jordan's Space Jam. I like this movie a little bit better because they kind of are able to pick at his inability to play baseball to an extent. I didn't really do too much research into Michael Jordan's baseball career, but they did an excellent job hyping him up in Space Jam as a basketball player, but also doing a really great job at kind of looking at his career as a baseball player and able to for him to make fun of himself in that degree, even make a movie about it with these Looney Tunes. It's like that's kind of bold. Let me get a little bit of coffee. Okay, so hope that was a kind of a good introduction for everybody. Let me see what we have. So, Space Jam is a 1996 American semi-biographical live action / animated sports comedy film, directed by Joe Pytka and starring basketball player Michael Jordan. This film presents a fictionalized account of what happened between Jordan's initial retirement from the NBA in 1993 and his 1995 comeback, in which he is enlisted by the Looney Tunes to help him win a basketball game match against a group of aliens who intend to enslave them as attractions for their theme park. And once again, these aliens are in space, like literal space. They're not in like Looney Tunes space. So it's kind of interesting how they come down. And I'll explain in more detail, I guess, when we break it down about how they enter the stratosphere or whatever the hell. It's crazy. So Wayne Knight, Teresa Randall appearing in supporting roles, while Billy West, D. Bradley Baker, and Kath Saucy, and Dana DeVito headlined the voice cast. We know D. Bradley Baker, longtime voice actor from Avatar, among many other roles. He was in SpongeBob, Codename Kansas Next Door, Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Phineas and Ferb, Ben 10, American Dad. The list goes on. The dude never stops. So he's getting that Space Jam money. Okay. Space Jam was the first feature film to be produced by Warner Brothers Feature Animation and was released theatrically in the United States on November 15th, 1996. It definitely feels like it should be not a Christmas movie, but like a winter movie, fall movie. Good time to place it because that gives all that time in the December time and to for all these people to watch it. The film was a box office success, grossing over $250 million worldwide, becoming the highest grossing basketball film of all time, as well as the 10th highest grossing film of 96. I'm surprised it actually didn't get higher. I bet if it was released in a proper time today, it definitely would have got higher. Considering it's sports and it's family. Kids love repeating, watching the same thing. So all these Disney models, all these HBO models that have these movies and shows, specifically movies that you can rewatch, they're gonna kill it, because they just love rewatching the shit. And it doesn't make sense for parents to pay that many times. So initially, it received mixed reviews from critics who were divided on the out of place merits. Sorry, not out of space, out of place merits, and the concept of combining Jordan with his profession with the Looney Tunes characters. Although the technical achievements of blending of live action and animation, such as in the basketball scenes, were praised. I actually thought the animation blending worked pretty well once the basketball started. Considering it was an interesting blend of like 2D and 3D, I believe, with like CGI mixed into it. It's a whole like smorgasbord thing. If I said mess, it would sound like it's bad. I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's some of a lot of the animation does not age well, especially the body horror stuff that happens to the supporting cast and some of the main cast. But you know, it was the mid '90s when they were doing this, so. So I looked at this director, and I wasn't too familiar with this director. I had never heard of him, and it's because he's a music video director as well as like really known for noteworthy commercials. He has tons of awards for different DGAs, nominations, Screen Guilds awards, Art Directors awards. This dude has a lot of stuff, and it's interesting that he has such a small span of featured films. All I'm seeing on here is 1996 of Space Jam being his second feature film starring Michael Jordan. His first one was Let It Ride in '89, his first film starring Richard Dreyfuss and Robbie Coltrane. I haven't heard that one too much, so I'm not really sure if it was praised or not. But yeah, this dude's he is a commercial guy. I was very surprised to see that this would be the guy hired to do this kind of level of work. I mean, that's intense. Hire a guy that does normally commercials to hire an animation slash sports movie slash show all your IPs in one movie. You're gonna hire that guy? It's like, oh my gosh, give him the keys to the park or whatever. But anyways, Michael Chapman was the cinematographer, mostly known for... Oh, he's on Ghostbusters 2. He probably did. I wonder if he did Ghostbusters 1. I don't see Ghostbusters 1, but he was the cinematographer on Taxi Driver, cinematographer Raging Bull. Yeah, he's worked with Scorsese a lot. He was with Ivan Reitman on '89's Ghostbusters 2, Kindergarten Cop. That was another Reitman movie. 6 Days, 6 Nights. So this must be a Reitman favorite. Also, Fugitive. He was the Fugitive cinematographer. That's interesting that this guy did this. It's such a interesting blend of people behind the scenes on this. Yeah, Sheldon Kahn, the editor, best known for Over the Cuckoo's Nest. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. We have talked about that in the reviews. Go back and check that out. Yeah, so like I said, 88-minute runtime. This movie breezes by. It feels like a really extensive, or it feels like how a Disney movie used to feel back in the day. They used to be about slightly over an hour. It felt like a really more expensive television show to an extent, but this is like really fucking expensive. So for back in the day, they just gave this guy the keys to the IPs, and they said, we're going to give you $80 million. $80 million? Holy shit, dude. They really trusted this guy. So with $80 million, they brought back $250 million worldwide. So I'd say that it was pretty much a success despite the critical response. So, yeah, that is pretty much the spoiler-free review. There will be a condensed review for everybody on YouTube and on the non-Patreon side. But thank you for listening, watching Lucky Dog Podcast. I'd give this movie about a 7 out of 10, mostly because I think this soundtrack is superior. I mean, they got the bangers. They got some of the most memorable songs. They are kind of rooted in like the mid '90s, but I gotta say I can't remember any songs on Space Jam: A New Legacy. Maybe if I go back and listen to it, I will. But I've already listened to the intro song that they have at this. I can't get it like out of my head. It's just like a banger, it's a fucking banger. So James Newton Howard did excellent job on the music on here. Let's hop into the spoiler section. Be sure to check out luckydogpodcast.com for all the links, all the spoilers, all the good stuff, all the library stuff, all the Patreons, all the stuff. You can check out the description below as well. And I gotta say thank you to everyone who has been subscribing to the Lucky Dog Podcast. We cannot expand this podcast without your help. Every single subscription helps, or every single follow. What do they call YouTube things now? Every single one of them helps. Every single one of you that are supporting, even commenting helps. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and we could not do this without you. Let me see if I can see if I. Yes, and so that was that's about it for the spoiler-free section, and we are hopping into the spoiler section of Space Jam number 1. What is a Space Jam 96? Sorry, I'm trying to line up where we're at. Okay, so okay, so we are in the spoiler section for Space Jam 1996. Oh, whoops. Need to All right. We are now we are in the spoiler section, my friends, for Space Jam 1996. Here's the plot. In 1973, a young Michael Jordan tells his father, James R. Jordan Sr., that he wants to go to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill to play in the championship team. Then go to the National Basketball Association. I gotta say, that's kind of cool because my dad actually went there. Didn't play basketball, but he went to Chapel Hill. A complication of highlights from Jordan's basketball career, which includes highlights from high school, college, the 1984 and the 1992 Olympics, and the Chicago Bulls, is followed by an excerpt from the 1993 press conference in which Jordan announces his retirement from professional basketball to pursue a career in baseball, in which Jordan is popular but less skilled. So this is kind of the first maybe 10, 12 minutes of the movie. And we get a great little summation of what's going on. It might not even be the first 10 minutes. Might even be less than that. I love the determination on young Michael Jordan's face. This little kid that plays young Jordan is he's a cute kid, and he definitely embodies young Jordan. What's his name? Brandon Hammond. And I wonder if he ended up doing anything else after this, because this kid seemed like he was a pretty good actor. But I liked young Michael Jordan, and I loved how they implemented that he was going to do all of this, and he is also talking about being the best, being determined, and possibly even following I think his father's footsteps in baseball. I'm guessing his let me see. Yeah, I'm guessing that he was trying to follow his father in baseball. Let me see. I think he was a big baseball fan. I'm not sure if he was an actually baseball player. Someone's gonna rip me a new one for not knowing all this. But remember, if I'm getting anything wrong, be sure to say in the comments what the actual. Yeah, hold on. The Jordans left their children and with Jordan Sr.'s mother, so that he could retrieve a mechanic sin, GI Bill. Studied. No, I don't think he was a baseball player. He was a lifelong basketball fan. Okay. So also a very big baseball fan, having gone semi-pro himself. Okay, so he did go semi-pro. Okay, so I found it. Don't everyone don't rip me a new one. I wanted to find that because I know someone's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you gonna do a fucking Space Jam review and not even know what the fuck?" So yeah, the entire intro with young Michael Jordan, having this determination and already talking about this is all the things he's gonna do. I was like, damn, he's gonna do it. And then they do this little montage in the same style as the second movie does. But I will say I think this one slaps a little bit hard because this freaking song is just fucking dank. I would play it if I didn't get slapped for a copyright suit, but I've been boogieing to it. I've been replaying it all freaking last 3 days since I've seen this first movie. I was like, y'all didn't tell me this first one had such bangers on there. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not so crazy about the R. Kelly, but some of these things got Seal on there. I was like, this is some good shit. All right, so yeah, I liked how this movie was able to be kind of introspective about Michael Jordan's career, and I really applauded how much they put his actual real life kind of hooked it on this movie. Very much in the same way as the second one does. Meanwhile, in outer space, the museum park, Moron Mountain faces a decline. Its owner, Mr. Swackhammer, sends his diminutive minions, the Nerdlucks, to Earth to abduct the Looney Tunes in order to develop new attractions. I'm going to say right off the bat, kind of doing the comparison with the first and second one, I'm not too crazy on the lug nuts or what the Nerdlucks. And the aliens from outer space, they just kind of feel slightly more generic for me than Don Cheadle in the second one, but that's just me. Again, I results may vary depending on who you are. They just kind of felt more generic to me. Let me see who we got. Less personality, no one's fault for that or anything like that. So let me see. Upon the Nerdluck's arrival, Bugs Bunny and the other Looney Tunes take advantage of the Nerdluck's small stature and challenge them to a game of basketball. Oh wait, sorry. Did I miss something? Oh no, I did, because they're told by Danny DeVito as an alien that the Looney Tunes, they need to be abducted by them and whatnot. So they're like, all right, the way that we're going to challenge you to see if you're going to abduct us is through a basketball game. And they realize that it's because the aliens are small in stature and they're not going to be able to, shoot the hoops, I guess. So anyways, through a documentary of basketball, the Nerdlucks learned that the sport's best players are employed by the NBA and accept the proposal. The Nerdlucks go around various basketball games in the USA, stealing the talents of the NBA players Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, and Muggsy Bogues, and soon transform themselves into large, muscular, talented basketball-playing monstars, whom Sylvester dubs monstars, or monsters, who Sylvester dubs as monstars, easily intimidating the Tunes and prompting Bugs to seek professional help. So that's kind of a mouthful, but that's the antagonist and their motivations and what's going on there. I did enjoy. I just enjoyed the comedy of how they were taking the powers or the talent of Charles Barkley and gang, all these basketball players. I thought them, acting like they're like, doing all this craziness. I thought that shit was funny. It made me laugh, and they all were just kind of like acting like they can't. They're not great actors, but it's kind of that which makes it even more funny. So it's like they're getting like their talent absorbed, and like, and they're going to like see therapists and see crystal ball mind readers and shit like that. It's funny as hell. I think that most of their scenes are pretty funny, and as long as you know that they are basketball players and they're not really that great actors, I think that you can go in there laughing. So, while golfing with Bill Murray, Larry Bird, and his personal assistant Stan Podolak, who is played by Wayne Knight, Jordan is suddenly lassoed down a hole into the Looney Tunes world. Now, I'm now just seeing what this is right now. So much of this movie works for me because these real life people are playing themselves. These people aren't really playing actors. Bill Murray's playing Bill Murray. Larry's playing Larry. Personal assistant Stan Podolak, Wayne Knight. Wayne Knight always plays Wayne Knight. He's always falling all over the place. And it was the 90s. Everyone was making fun of him because he was fat. It's like he played the same guy. It's like they're all playing. Everyone is like a character actor. Even Michael Jordan's playing himself mostly to a degree, with the exception of his estate. My God, that was he's staying in like a $400,000 house at max, and he's definitely got like mansions. Yeah. We're not gonna go there, but let me see. So Jordan is lassoed down a hole and into the Looney Tunes world. Kind of unexplaining anything. And I definitely think the way that they enter the Looney Tunes world in the second one is way more superior. I'm just going to say that right off the bat, because it kind of doesn't make sense. In both movies, they don't question it, really. They're just like, what's going on? Oh, okay, I'm a Looney Tune. Yeah, it's what the heck's going on? So Bugs explains the situation to Jordan, whom hope is placed on as one of the best players in the world. Jordan reluctantly agrees to play after a confrontation with the monsters, insults his pride, and organizes the Toons into a team, the Toon Squad. It's like Jordan, I know that he's not like the best actor. I know all of that stuff, but it's like he doesn't really like react that much to like being in a Toon world. You wouldn't be like freaking out like you would if I was the director. I'd be like, all right, Jordan, you got to show me the reaction you would have if you thought you were tripping balls and you saw a real life Toon animal, like you are on acid or something like that. You're like, what, who, what? Oh, basketball. Well, man, I'm pretty good at that, man. Like he doesn't really like. He might say, where am I, like once or twice, and be like, boo. He doesn't ask like, where's the bathroom or how do I eat, or he just like accepts everything that's going on. Maybe that's just me that just like, need to know these like small fine details, and like how are you breathing? What's going on? I got 110 questions immediately as he enters this world. None of them are answered. Maybe one. A female bunny named Lola, who Bugs falls in love with, is added to the team thanks to her talents. So we can talk a little bit about the Lola dynamics. I've heard that Lola was put into the Space Jam, or I guess this is the first time she was introduced to. Was this the first time she was ever introduced? She's generally depicted as Bugs. Yeah, this is the first time she was depicted in Warner Brothers. Okay, so I heard that she was portrayed as this, super anthropomorphic female rabbit, so that it would quote unquote balance off the fact that Bugs Bunny goes around dressing like a transvestite and kisses men all the time. They didn't want to imply or something that, well, God forbid, Bugs is gay, So they have to make him ultra straight by having him nearly have bust one every time Lola walks in the door. So they even say it here: a female bunny named Lola, whom Bugs falls in love with, is added to the team thanks to her talents. Jordan sends Bugs and Daffy Duck back to his house to obtain his basketball gear. When they arrive, Bugs and Daffy meet Jordan's dog and kids and are later seen by Stan. So the kids run into the Looney Tunes. They're totally cool with, where their dad is. It's all cool. Your dad's going to play for the cartoons. It's all good. Something like that. And then they're off. I mean, the kids are just like, bah. All right. Don't question anything. That's kind of the name of the game of this movie. Don't question anything. So, I thought it was funny that Jordan sends Bugs and Daffy back to his house. It's like, he can't come back. I guess you can't leave, Jordan. You can't leave Toon World. I don't know. The logistics of this stuff just drive me up the wall. I don't even know why I even tried to like think about the logistics of a Toon World. Whatever. Oh gosh. So so they meet Jordan's dog and kids, and that dog has some terrible CGI. There's no reason to even have this dog in this movie. This dog has like a dog cam, and it's like trying to like lick Jordan in the beginning of the movie, and it's like just kind of like a setup for a little bit later for when Daffy's there, and it looks like this terrible cutout green screen of a dog with an animated, Daffy Duck looking at him, like, it was like, okay, this is not necessary. It's for the kids, I guess. All right, whatever. It's that type of comedy, slapstick. So let me see what's going on. Okay, so yeah. Bugs and Daffy meet Jordan's dog and kids and are later seen by Stan, Wayne Knight, who follows them back to the cartoon world and joins the team as well. It's hilarious because they keep showing Stan like trying to find Michael Jordan in this golf course, and Bill Murray and Larry Bird, their side conversations when they're leaving that initial time when they're with them earlier in that day, because I think this all happens in like one day. It's funny as hell. It's like Bill Murray's like talking about how weird Wayne Knight is and whatnot. It's just like unnecessary to an extent, but it's still fucking hilarious. So Wayne Knight initially follows them and follows them back to the Toontown. And what do we have? Follows him back to the cartoon world and joins the team as well. It doesn't question how he got there. Just all right, he's there. Meanwhile, the sudden incapacity of the 5 NBA players leads to worldwide panic that the results in the season being suspended indefinitely. I thought this was insane how they were kind of treating this. Not like it was like ridiculous, but how much and how close it felt like to how they had the protocols for the coronavirus in the NBA last March, when people were getting sick and whatnot in the NBA, and kind of how they're doing now. It's just like they're just they didn't know what they're getting sick with. They're getting sick unexplainably. They're having these weird symptoms. They even go to the extent of having like masks on at one point, and they're shutting the NBA down. I was like, oh shit, this is the fucking virus. It's the fucking Looney Tunes. They're coming back. I was like, shit. So I was just like blown away by how that felt so relatable in a way. So, Space Jam saw the pandemic happen first. The players try to restore their skills through various methods, including practice, hospitalization, therapy, and prayer, all to no avail. So none of it works. And like I said, I think all of these side montages with the NBA players are pretty damn funny. It might go on a little bit too long, and as long as you are still with their kind of, okay acting, I think it's good. I enjoyed it, which is something I felt like we didn't get in the second movie. I'm just gonna say. The game between the Toon Squad and the Monstars eventually begin, but the Monstars uh, dominate the first half, sinking the Toon Squad's morale. And yeah, what does the Toon Squad get, like one time to really do everything? They didn't really get that much time to practice, to be honest, and they're not cheating like these aliens are doing. My lord. Um, Stan overhears how the Monstars obtain their talent and informs Jordan and the Toons. And I guess that really doesn't matter too much, but I thought those aliens were gonna like beat the shit out of him. Look, I mean, they kind of do. They like he comes in like exploded. I thought like Wayne Knight had died when he walks in with the Toons. He's like, like he was done. So thank goodness they didn't actually kill him. So what do they have? Using a special plan, Bugs and Jordan rally the Toon Squad, and the team dominates most of the second half using old school gags and Acme weaponry. The cool thing about the Space Jam basketball games, I'll say both in the first and the second one, without even going into too many spoilers, is that they're using the types of animation and the types of gags that they have in the TV shows. So when they show the Roadrunner and the Coyote kind of doing their own thing, they're doing their going fast, and one of them's lighting up Acme stuff, and things are blowing up, the aliens are blowing up, doing all these crazy montages of things. Like, I honestly can't even, with these cartoon physics and things going on, everything's like curtailed to the things that they would be I guess they would be doing. I guess like grandma was like, could be like knitting or something like that. I don't think grandma plays in this movie, but in the second movie, it's the things that they're well known for. Bugs Bunny will do something with a fucking carrot, say, "What's up, Doc?" They all have to say their catchphrases and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. I do like how they use their old school gags though. They'll jump in a cannon and blow up and shoot it in the thing. It's just like random things like that. That they get to use the gags, and as long as the gags don't last too long, I think that's what works. During a timeout, Jordan raises the stakes with Swack Hammer. A win by the Toon Squad would require the Monstars returning their stolen talents, while a win by the Monstars would allow Swackhammer to make Jordan a new attraction for Moron Mountain for the rest of his life. And once again, why would Jordan say yes to this? I don't know why. He just is like, I'm best in the world. His pride gets the best of him. It'd be like, did you even think about this? Do you even know how to eat in this world? And once again, everyone is in this basketball arena. Two things. It's a bunch of the IPs and some of the most notable, IPs in Warner Brothers that are in the crowd, both and 1 and 2, and for kind of no reason, to be honest, but to just kind of like be there and say, "Oh, look who's there, look who's there, look who's there," And so, with saying that, I don't know why Jordan would ever allow this. So, Bugs Bunny also had that special water they was getting everybody. It was like supposed to be like steroids of some sort, but it just happened to be like Gatorade water or something like that. It kind of didn't really matter. It was all in your head, Swaghammer orders the Monstars to win the game by any means necessary, and they're already cheating like hell. They subsequently begin playing even dirtier and rougher against the Toon Squad than before, leaving most of them injured or unable to continue. And like Tasmanian Devil doing shit. Don't ask me to do that again. With 10 seconds left in the game. The Toon Squad are down by 1 point and 1 point only. And once again, these points are like ding, 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 ding. You know, both sides, I feel like they just random numbers. It's like, all right, 43 to 43, 103, 103, 1,000 to 1,003. It doesn't matter. So with 10 seconds left in the game, the Toon Squad are down by 1 point and one player, with only Jordan, Bugs, Lola, Daffy still able to play. Murray unexpectedly arrives and is recruited to fill the spot. In the final seconds, Jordan gains the ball with Murray's help, but is pulled back by the Monstars. And I think it's hilarious how they brought Bill Murray just back for this, like this one scene. And he's very blunt about how he got back in the movie. He's like, yeah, I'm friends with the producers. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm here for 2 days. Let me get a check. Remembering advice from, and apparently he's a big Chicago fan based on what Martin Thomas said. So, remembering advice from Bugs, he uses cartoon physics to extend his arm and dunk the ball, winning the match with a buzzer beater. After watching Swackhammer admonish the monsters for the loss, Jordan helps them realize that they only listened to him because they were smaller. The Monstars encase Swackhammer in a missile and send them back to the amusement park. And giving up their stolen talent, the Nerdlocks are recruited into the Looney Tunes ensemble and drop off Jordan at his next baseball game. It's crazy. I thought it was crazy how they even came back to the baseball game. I was like, this is pretty remarkable how they still sticking with the baseball. Later, Jordan revisits the incapacitated baseball players and returns their talent, to which the basketball players convince a reluctant Jordan into participating in a 3-on-3 match. 2 years later, in 1995, Jordan returns to the Chicago Bulls to resume his basketball career. He's back, baby. And that is Space Jam. Come on and jam and get into the Space Jam. Come on and jam and get into the Space Jam. Sorry. 1996. Thank you for watching, listening. LuckyDog Podcast. You know what to do. Check out YouTube. Check out Twitch. Check out all the Instagrams. Check out all the social medias. More importantly, check out LuckyDogPodcast.com for all the reviews and all the links and all that good stuff. Let me know how I can improve. Let me know if I fuck something up in the comments. Let me know if I'm boring as hell. Just fucking get the fuck out of here. No, try to give me some critical review about how I can get better and whatnot. I try to, be engaging for everybody and keep it, to a level that everybody's, like, come on and jam and get into the Space Jam. Come on and... Oh, anyways. And, of course, be sure to check out Lucky Dog Podcast, everything you can. Anything else let me see. This got a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, I think it would be about a 7 out of 10. Slightly superior to the second one. And let me see if there's any cool IMDb facts real quick I can give. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so when Stanley comes up into Michael's hotel room and says, "Come on, Michael, it's game time. Slip on your Hanes, lace up your Nikes, take your Wheaties and your Gatorade, and we'll grab a Big Mac on the way to the ballpark." All those things were products that Michael Jordan had been a spokesman for around that time. Okay, so that was him. Okay, so we'll do one or two more. So yeah, the original promotional website is still there. Exactly as it appeared in 1996. However, it changed to promote the second one. Space Jam: A New Legacy 2021. Boo, bring back the old one. Michael Jordan actually wore his North Carolina Tar Heel college basketball shorts under his Chicago Bulls uniform every game as a good luck charm. Boo. I think they talked about that, but it was like, duh. Can we get some fresh ones, man? Oh my goodness. So, This is kind of cool. When flying towards Moron Mountain, the monolith from 2001, A Space Odyssey, can be seen at a very right corner edge of the screen, floating in space near a red planet. Didn't know that. And there's tons of other cool stuff that you can find on there. Bill Murray, who stands at 6'2", joked about how he felt punny around Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, who were 6'6" and 6'9", respectively. Good Lord. Talk about flying problems. I guess if you got $1 million, you ain't got flying problems. Oh, gosh. All right, y'all. Take it easy. And get into the Space Jam. Come on, man. And get into the Space Jam.